You're watching the SEC on ESPN here from the Music City, and you're in for a treat. Two top 10 teams in the SEC on this Monday night getting set to battle with some electric scores. Courtney Lyle and Stephanie White with you from Memorial Gym. A game that we anticipate the pace will be frantic. Steph's been calling for no defense in this one.
I think there's going to be limited defense in this one. But I'm hoping we get to the 90s or 100s. And how about a start with the three?
Peyton Verhulst comes out and hits the three for Oklahoma, an Oklahoma offense that is having its best scoring season in Oklahoma history. Here's a great score, too, in Michaela Blake's, number 1 in black for Vanderbilt. She's the second leading scorer in the nation. Sasha Washington inside. The double team comes, and a traveling violation. Well, this Oklahoma team comes in. They've used the same starting 5 all season. They're second in the nation when it comes to pace of play. Reagan Beers got a touch on that ball, and that's something that they're looking to exploit, is that they've got the size advantage on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I think that you've got to almost every time down the floor give Reagan Beers a touch if you're not getting anything in transition. This is an Oklahoma team that wants to play fast, no doubt about it, but there is a distinct advantage on the interior.
For Vanderbilt, they've also used the same starting 5 in every game this season. These are the only 2 SEC teams that have not changed their starters. Jacqueline and Tonda misses the 3 in the corner. Here's Zaya Van with the basketball up top to Reagan Beers. They swing it over to Aaliyah Chavez. She is a freshman, but she is their leading scorer and was the number 3 recruit coming out of high school. I can't get a shot, goes inside to Washington, battling against Reagan Beers, and it rolls out.
Vanderbilt going to look to get some touches on the interior, force Reagan Beers to play on that end. I'd also look for them to bring her out, put her in the 2-man game, and look to attack in that way.
Chavez for the 3, too much on it. Tonda with the rebound. Justine Passat slow to get up, but does for Vandy. Aubrey Galvin, the true freshman point guard, will set things up for Vanderbilt.
There's going to come the ball screen. This is going to be a mid-range pull-up all day long if you really use it and execute it. Beers is going to hang out in the paint.
Passat steps over to the side, drains the 3. She leads the SEC in 3-pointers.
And you're used to seeing Passat take this off of a catch and shoot. I love just the little side dribble. She's got that high release point, able to create a little bit of space and knock it down.
This is a Vanderbilt team that has been off to a historic season. They started 20-0. What's allowed them to have the success this year?
Well, I think the way they shoot the three-point, the ball from the 3, no doubt about it. I mean, it's a team that wants to play with pace. It's a team that has one of the best players in the country in Michaela Blake's. Her ability to get downhill, her ability to create for herself and others.
Shay Ralph, we were talking to her about this game at shoot-around. She said, I'm okay with playing that fast tempo that we know Oklahoma wants to play with, as long as they're taking good shots.
And sometimes you can get into taking quick shots when you're playing against other teams that like to take quick shots, and not every quick shot is a good shot.
Here's Michaela Blake. She has had 30-plus points in their last 2 games. 7 times total this season. 8 seconds, steps over to the free throw line, makes it look easy.
And again, she's going to have that all day. If Reagan Beers is going to play in that drop coverage, if the floor is spaced, Michaela Blake's is going to be able to live in the mid-range.
Chavez misses. She's 0 for 3 now from behind the arc.
And right now, Vanderbilt doing a great job of defensive rebounding. Oklahoma, one of the best offensive rebounding teams. They have size at every position, so securing the defensive board is going to be critical.
And rebounding, something that this Vanderbilt team has been working on, and Shay Ralph has been urging them to be better and better at, especially in this game. They are second to last in the SEC in rebounds per game. Sahara Williams now in control for Oklahoma, over to Chavez. Verhulst back to Williams, the spin move underneath the basket.
What a pass by Peyton Verhulst. Find the gaps, find the seams. And Jenny Baranchek said to us pregame, we have got to establish in the paint early.
This is an Oklahoma team that's 8th in the nation in paint points per game. They average about 44 a game. Aubrey Galvin side
favorite players in the country to watch. Just the swagger, the moxie, the competitive fire. She's got some stuff about her. I mean, look, just the ability to create shot over length, bring a long defender on her. She creates enough space to knock it down. She's fearless.
Absolutely is fearless. She told us this week she just goes out there and tries to make the game fun. She makes it fun to watch.
She sure does.
Her and Michaela Blake, who's got the ball right now, have been a fun duo for Vanderbilt. Inside to Sasha Washington and shut down by Brooklyn Stewart. Jenny Baranchek, as you said, told us must get paint points. And she was interested to see how her teams handle the pressure that Vanderbilt puts on them. She said it's a bit different than any that they've seen, but so far Oklahoma 3 turnovers.
It's a different kind of pressure after you come off of games where you're playing South Carolina and you're playing Texas, and those guards really get into you on the ball. Vanderbilt gets in the gaps, they're active on the ball, and they come at you with multiple double teams in different ways.
Blake's kicking to the corner to Mwinintanda. And Jacqueline Mwinintanda has her first points. She did not score in the last 2 games.
Well, she's needed it. She's gotten some good looks. They haven't been able to fall. She shot it well in shoot-around today.
Transfer from Texas, Zaya Van going off 1 foot with the miss. And guess who's underneath? Sahara Williams. This is an energy player. Kind of sets the tone for Oklahoma. Galvin lets it fly. And it's a 2 for Aubrey Galvin. Chavez in transition.
Well, you can't celebrate, right? Ball goes through the net. You got to turn around quickly because Oklahoma is going to bring it.
Left Passat open. She's already hit 1-3 so far tonight. Verholst looking for the transition triple and bricks it. Besides, yes!
We're on our way, Courtney. We're on our way. Let's go. 2 teams who want to push pace. 2 teams who will let it fly from the 3-point line. 2 teams that are finding the bottom of the net. Passat with her second.
Just a sophomore. By the way, she's had 7 games this season where she's dropped 30 or more points, including her last 2 games where she's averaging 33.5 and shooting 51% from the field. And Brooklyn Stewart hits in the corner from Oklahoma. Vanderbilt, a team who's been searching for better starts. I'd say this is a good start for them.
It's definitely a good start. Getting some opportunities, knocking down shots, securing defensive boards. They're finishing defensive plays.
Vandy's hits 4 of its last 5 shots. Will feed Passat inside spinning, and she'll get some free throws coming. That foul's going to be against Aaliyah Chavez, her first.
And that was a great job of recognizing the mismatch and Passat demanding the ball, calling for it.
And Justine Passat started her career at Tennessee, and she's the first player to ever transfer from Tennessee to Vanderbilt. How is she different this year?
Number one, her confidence level. I mean, the way that she's shooting the ball, you can see it when she walks into the gym in a shoot around, that she's carrying herself in a different way. Sometimes when there's a sense of urgency, when you understand that it's winding down, something clicks, something changes. She's also getting it done on the defensive end.
That was a key piece to earning more playing time for Shea Ralph, was you got to play both ways. Oklahoma. Turnover number 4 by the Sooners to start this game, and Aubrey Galvin takes the transition bucket. Inside to Beers, but just off the fingertips. We're going back the other way.
Well, this is one of the concerns for Jenny Baranchek right there. Great job of getting a deflection that leads to a steal. And again, Vanderbilt wants to play fast. Aubrey Galvin gets the easy 2. Shane Ralph talked to us in shoot-around today about the way that this team is prepared and how much they've grown over the last couple of weeks in terms of the sense of urgency in preparation, the consistency in preparation. And you see it because this is a different start to a team that we saw a week ago.
Yeah, and she's talked about how she's seen continuous improvement, that they weren't always, you know, having great conversations, having tight huddles. She's seeing that now, and she said, we can't go in and we don't want to get beat. We want to make people try to beat us. I think they learned a lot from that South Carolina loss.
Yeah, no question. You got to come ready to play. You got to make sure every possession matters. And you got to win the margins. And so far, 11 points for Vanderbilt off of empty possessions for OU.
Aaliyah Chavez shakes the quick shot for Oklahoma. Keep finishing. Swatted away by Vanderbilt. Reagan Beers, and that is her first shot attempt, and she hits. Remember, an emphasis for Oklahoma was get the ball inside to Beers.
Well, Vanderbilt's doing a good job of staying really active. They're pressuring the ball. They're swarming when the ball comes into Beers. They're forcing them to play fast, and that's the second foul on Aaliyah Chavez.
That's Oklahoma's leading scorer in Aaliyah Chavez, and she's going to check out of this game.
I mean, there are always multiple black jerseys around Beers when she catches the ball or when a pass is on its way. They're not waiting until she receives it. They are moving on the pass.
Blakes has plenty of time to operate. Aubrey Galvin was by herself at the top of the screen. Winning time, they can't get around Williams. Galvin hit on the three-point attempt. It was on Zaya Van, her first.
Yeah, Aubrey Galvin just crafty with the basketball. She doesn't get it. Again, finds an open spot, creates a little bit of space. She's shifty right there, and you can see the contact.
And they're going over to the monitor to take a look at this.
The ruling on the court is a three-point attempt. We're going to video review to confirm it.
So you'll look to see if Galvin's feet were behind the three-point line. Oh, yeah.
And that's a tough one defensively because Zaya Van took a straight line through that contest.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed three-point shot attempt.
And Aubrey Galvin jumps forward. And one of the hard things about officiating sometimes fouls on a jump shot is when they're both jumping forward and then the foul goes to the defense. I thought Van did about as good a job as she could have of not going into and Aubrey Galvin going forward.
Galvin getting 3 shots at the free throw line. Brings the first. The ACC Super Tuesday men's doubleheader on ESPN. North Carolina at Miami at 7 Eastern. The Duke and Pitt, both games available on the ESPN app. How about that North Carolina win over Duke?
Oh my goodness.
They led for 0.4 seconds. That's all the time that mattered?
That's all the time that mattered. In a rivalry matchup, it's never over till it's over.
Don't forget, too, the women's basketball version of that Duke North Carolina is coming up on Sunday on ABC.
We'll be there.
We will be. We're under the court here in Nashville, and then we'll be in the ceiling at Cameron Indoor.
That's right.
Sasha Washington just picked up her second foul. How does that impact this game for Vanderbilt?
Well, Sasha Washington's such a heady, smart defender, and she's such a connector for this team on the floor. And you see Vanderbilt going with size on the interior, try to match up with Beers. But look at the help. There's always a second body.
And 3 seconds called on Reagan Beers. Aaliyah Del Rosario, the transfer from LSU, has checked into the game for Vanderbilt, number 32 in black. Travel. pressure from Vandy, trying to trap Van. Peyton Verhulst up off the window.
And those are the random traps that Jenny Bronchek was talking about. And if you can maintain your poise and composure, if you can get it out, you're going to find an advantage on the backside.
That's why you wait and pass it to Michaela Blakes.
I love how Vanderbilt uses Michaela Blakes as a screener multiple times to get her open on the second or third action.
Sahara Williams trying to drive, and she's going to be fouled by Del Rosario, her first.
Blakes is used as a screener. You get caught. Am I switching? Am I not switching? A little miscommunication, and then off of the screener action, she gets an open one.
5 points so far in this one here in the first quarter, 2 for 3 from the field. And Sahara Williams, who is a 70% free throw shooter, is at the line for Oklahoma. Gets the first. Drops in both. Reagan Beers is going to be subbed out. Beatrice Culleton will check into the game. You see that wrap on her right hand. She broke her thumb in practice, was able to return for the Texas game on February 1st, but has a big club on that paw.
that is a club.
Yeah. Latenda, the kick out to Galvin. Galvin's got 11 to start this game.
And perfect from the floor. But that's the kind of start you need. A young backcourt, really, for both of these teams, coming out in a big-time game, you know, for both of these programs, and putting on a show.
Yeah, both teams with freshman point guards. 4 seconds. Oklahoma's got to let it fly. Verhulst does. It'll be Vanderbilt ball. Oklahoma star freshman Aaliyah Chavez not on the floor. She's already picked up 2 fouls. That's their leading scorer.
And I believe Zaya Van just got her second.
Yeah, so she will check out for the final 36.1 of this first quarter. So that's 2 ball handlers right there for Oklahoma in foul trouble.
2 ball handlers and your leading scorer in Aaliyah Chavez. You don't see a lot of them nowadays, and a great job. She saw the advantage. She usually beats people with her speed, and that time with her discipline.
Vanderbilt ball. Oklahoma says it was touched by... No, they're going to overturn this. It will be Oklahoma ball. 2.5 showing on the clock. Into Verhulst. Tough angle. She was almost behind the backboard. Vanderbilt comes out and shoots 65%, but Oklahoma with a bucket. Peyton Verhulst, a tough shot. Oklahoma's got some work to do on the road, though.
Alvin's got it going early. 4 for 4 from the floor. 11 points in the first quarter. She's playing pace, she's playing poise, she's playing confident. All over the floor, knocking it down from the mid-range from the three-point line. And you can see a much more seasoned, comfortable Aubrey Galvin as the season continues to progress.
We talked to her this week, and Aubrey told us her biggest influence on her basketball career has been her grandfather. That is her grandfather, Richard. This is a player that tore it up in high school, but was maybe a little under-recruited. One of her mentors is Jewel Lloyd, who's a 3-time WNBA champion. She said she still talks to her, but really her big influence and somebody that watches all of her games. In fact, Grandpa Richard might watch her games 3 or 4 times and send her feedback on how she's doing. I think he's going to have some good feedback.
I think he is. You know, I just the mentality. Again, we're talking about a young backcourt, a freshman and a sophomore for Vanderbilt, who have had to go through a little bit of ups and downs, and the way that they've responded, how quickly they've adapted and adjusted. And Aubrey Galvin frees up Michaela Blakes to play off the ball, but her command thus far has been incredible.
Aubrey told us, too, her grandfather, Richard, he could tear it up back in there. Look at him.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
She said, yeah, he rocked those high-top Converse when he was playing. But so cool. And she told us, too, yeah, it's been so much fun for her to play with Michaela Blakes, and they fit so nicely together. Reagan Beers up off the window.
It was one of the few times Reagan Beers got a one-on-one touch, but she also had time then to put the ball on the floor. You see she's got an eye on the second defender, maintains her balance and her body control. And again, Oklahoma has to do a good job of finding touches for her. I know they want to play fast. She's got to demand it. She's got to get herself in position, and she's got to know that once she gets it, there's a swarm coming, and she's got to get rid of it quickly.
And she's only taken 2 shots in this game. And Vanderbilt's got some foul trouble on the inside with Sasha Washington, who's on the bench with 2 fouls. That should help Oklahoma in the paint. Michaela Blakes pulls up, gets fouled. That's against Peyton Verhulst, her first. Michaela Blakes, the second leading scorer in the nation behind Audie Crooks. 43 straight games in double figures. That is second in Vanderbilt history. Which is a point away from continuing that streak. Sahara Williams trying to spin around Blakes. No.
And this is a concern if you're Shea Ralph. You know, being able to finish defensive possessions. If your defense gives you a chance and forces Oklahoma to miss a tough contested shot, finishing plays is paramount.
Rock's going to check out, and Jacqueline Wynn and Tonda back in the game for Vanderbilt, one of their starters.
Reagan Beers with the foul.
I think they called him a Colton. Oh no, they just changed it. Sorry, it was on Beers. They're going to the monitor. They'll give us an update.
The ruling on the court of a personal foul is under review.
I'm assuming it's under review to see if it's meant to be a flagrant foul. Yep. The over the top. That looks like what you do to a little sister. Her little sister is here in the house today too, right?
Like Riley, who plays at Belmont.
Yeah, just the over the top and kind of throw down.
Do you think that's warrants upgrading this?
I think the guy behind us does.
Yes.
There's the sister.
That's Riley Beers, Reagan's sister. They're taking a look at the foul that was called against Reagan Beers here and seeing if they need to upgrade this.
Well, when you see the arm go over the top and really kind of throw it down, the intent over the top, back of the neck, I think this very easily could get upgraded.
And one of the descriptions in the flagrant one flat foul category is contact to negate an opponent's advantageous position. And her displacing Justine Passat, does that qualify? So it's Lisa Green coming over to tell us that they are going to upgrade this to a flagrant one. So it is 2 free throws by Vanderbilt. Any member of Vanderbilt can take those and they'll get the ball.
After review, the ruling on the court of a personal foul has been upgraded to a flagrant one for unnecessary contact. Additionally, because the foul occurred prior to the throw-in ending, the possession arrow will remain in Oklahoma's favor. It'll be 2 shots for Vanderbilt. Their ball side out, 30 on the shot clock.
That, of course, does count as a personal foul. It also counts towards the team foul count.
Well, the game had such and has had such great pace, and right now an opportunity for Vanderbilt to extend this lead.
Jacqueline Mwinintanda is their best free throw shooter at 87.8%. Again, they can choose anyone to take it. Justine Passat is going to take them, a 70% free throw shooter. Got them both. That was just the first foul, by the way, on Reagan Beers. But she's over on the Oklahoma bench. They got to fix the shot clock here. "26 seconds is what they put on the shot clock. That slowed our pace down quite
It did a little bit. We'll see if we can get it picked back up. Oh, my. It's the right read. Right read. But you know what? This is a good opportunity for Del Rosario. Sasha Washington's had it with those 2 fouls to get some experience, right? To get some minutes on the floor.
Lofton in the corner misses. Sahara Williams just chucked it back into play, and Jacqueline Mwinintanda on the break. And that's going to be a foul against Keziah Lofton. Well, Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app, the Women's College Game Day crew is going to be in Baton Rouge to get you set for a top 10 matchup. Joyce Edwards, South Carolina, taking on Flau'jae Johnson and LSU. The win that South Carolina got yesterday over Tennessee, 43 points, the biggest loss in school history for the Lady Vols.
It was definitely a tough one for the Lady Vols. South Carolina, on the other hand, since that loss on the road to Oklahoma, has taken it to another level. And you mentioned it, Dawn Staley challenged her team. And Vanderbilt, unfortunately, was the first one to experience that.
Mwinintanda saves it from going out of play. Galvin pulls up. That freshman is having a game. She has 9. shot missed. 10-0 run for Vanderbilt. Aubrey Galvin with 17 points, perfect 6 for 6. 5 shots. Aaliyah Chavez back in the game. She had to sit down early, do a couple of early fouls in that first quarter. She's their leading scorer.
It's tough when you don't have a playmaker like Aaliyah Chavez on the floor. Vanderbilt able to make a run. If you're Shea Ralph, you're really pleased, I think, with the way your defense has played early in this ball game.
She's been calling for defensive toughness. It's shown up. Michaela Blake's an easy shot.
Well, we asked her in shoot-around if she's pleased with what they're doing on the defensive end of the floor. Chavez looks to get hot. And she said she's pleased with their progress.
Chavez not giving up following her shot. Tacks on 2 more. She's got 6. Blake's around the screen, makes it go swish.
It's going to be really hard if you're going to play Michaela Blake's in a drop coverage. Yes, you certainly want to be aware of her ability to get to the rim, but she is so good in the mid-range as well.
And then I think she tipped that pass right into the hands of her freshman point guard. I will go around you, says Blake's.
Is that what she said?
That's what she said. Bye.
I mean, again, you got to play her honest, and you go out to contest, run her off the three-point line. Again, so good at those angles, body control, creative finishes. I will go around you.
Yeah. See ya. There's a long sentence. She's got 17 points right now. She averages 25 a game. Make it 18. By the way, 7 of 8 from the field, too, for Blake's. A kick out to Zaya Van. Crushed the 3. Michaela Blake's is the 2nd leading scorer in the nation. Why do we not talk about her more?
I don't know. It baffles me. You know, I think that Shea Ralph said it perfectly, that Michaela Blake's has changed the landscape of this program. And it's not been quiet. I mean, all she's done is have 50-point games, 30-point games.
That's a 2 from Chavez. They'll check it at the next break, and Vanderbilt's going to call timeout. That's a 6-0 run for Oklahoma. Vanderbilt up big, and Blake's has 9 of their last 12.
Can score quickly and can score in bunches. And you're going to see her doing it a lot of different ways in this ball game early. Knocking it down from the three-point line. Not just using her speed, but using her pivots, using her discipline, those straight line driving angles that we talked about often. I mean, she's a player that's a tough cover, and you're not going to ever stop a player like that. What you have to try to do is just make every shot as difficult as possible, and when she's capable of making those difficult shots, sometimes you just got to live with it.
I feel like I've only seen her make difficult shots.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? And you know, I think what's tough when you watch her is that she makes those difficult shots look so easy.
Yeah. It's a player that was a little late to basketball. She was doing other things, was a dancer, and then in track. Her brother played basketball at the collegiate level. Her dad was a player, and finally she was running track, got tired of running around in circles, and wanted to play basketball.
I don't blame her.
That's a foul against Aga Magarat. Her first. When Ntanda back in the game, replacing Ava Black. Well, this top 10 battle between Vanderbilt and Oklahoma has been all Vandy right from the gate. Oklahoma's having to play catch-up. Vanderbilt put 31 points up in the first quarter, the most they've scored in a first quarter in SEC play.
And if you're Oklahoma, you just got to try to chip away right here. You've got no Michaela Blake's, no Sasha Washington, who's been saddled with those 2 early fouls on the floor.
That's a 2 from Zaya Van and 1 fall. Speedy Galvin.
So first miss of the ball game.
Looking like starting 6 for 6. Sahara Williams, a much-needed bucket for OU.
And Sahara Williams in the huddle talking to her team. Great job of getting out in transition, going right at the defender, drawing the foul, getting an opportunity at the and one. But if you're Oklahoma, you know, you're not going to get it all back at once. You got to continue to chip away. 1 bucket, 2 stops, get another bucket.
Right now, Oklahoma's on a 7-0 run, and Vanderbilt hasn't scored in 2 minutes. Blake's back in the ballgame for the Commodores, replacing Galvin. Diana Mitchell has come back into the game for Vanderbilt wearing a face shield. Did not have that when she started this game. Williams trying to pitch it ahead to Stewart, and when in time, they got a hand there. Well, these two are just dangerous. Michaela Blakes and Aubrey Galvin have more points than Oklahoma has in this ballgame.
We're talking about a freshman and a sophomore in the middle of conference play. The way that they came out and set the tone, and you know, you mentioned it early. This is a Vanderbilt team that's had some slow starts. They've had to find their way, but due to put a 40-minute consistent game together.
Still a long way to go in this one, but good start for them, looking for that 40-minute game. Michaela Blakes just hitting. She's going to get in trouble on the defensive end with that foul.
I mean, this is just, it's nasty right there. Again, she's so fast that you try to beat her to the spot, but she stops on a dime, maintains balance, maintains poise. That's a lot of hours in the gym right there.
She is a diligent worker, and Shea Ralph has told us numerous times, just a dream to coach. Reagan Beers got the offensive board. I think it got swatted away by Mitchell. Stewart got it back. Wide open Beers. Reagan Beers, 6 points. She's 3 of 4 from the field. Blake's turned it over into the hands of Zaya Van. Pull up, floater, got it.
Trying to find ways to steal possessions. Offensive rebounds, turnovers. It's got to start with some ball pressure.
Blake's for the triple.
That's the one you got to stay honest with.
Ooh. 23 points from Michaela Blake. She's going to have her season average in the first half.
Well, we saw them in shoot-around today. They were really locked into what they were doing. And Michaela Blake's, again, you take a chance. You're not disciplined when you're defending her. She's going to make you pay.
Averages 25.6 points per game. We still have 2 minutes left in the second quarter. She's got 23.
Let's go. I asked for triple digits.
I mean, they're halfway there.
They're halfway there.
Justine Passat calling corner pocket. She's got 13. Vanderbilt's hit 7 threes tonight.
Well, this is what they do, right? They spread you out. They use floor spacing. Great job of recognizing the double and finding Passat at the three-point line.
Sahara Williams was whistled for the foul, her first. Minute 45 until the half. Michaela Blake's taking a seat with those 23 points. Kick ball there by Kaya Smith. Vanderbilt has come out shooting 65% from the field in the first half. They're on a 6-0 run right now, and they've hit their last 3 shots.
And Oklahoma leads the SEC in defensive field goal percentage. And Vanderbilt, they're just blitzing them right now.
Tipped up into the air, Makara back to feeding Mitchell. 3 seconds, turnover. Chavez at the free throw line. She's in a double figures with 10. Looking for Beers. That's the right call.
Yes, and one of the few times they've been able to get Reagan Beers a touch in transition.
8 points for Beers now, 4 of 5 from the field.
I thought you got one hot stove touch.
I think it's unlimited,
okay.
as long as you remove it. I think they changed that this year. They wave off that bucket. 3 seconds called against Vanderbilt.
That would be annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Are you going to sit there and do that to me?
You know, right. I was never a very good defender,
yeah.
So.
Chavez has it with the clock ticking down. Oh, back to Beers. Chavez, no. Stephanie, you got your points you wanted to see in the first half. Vanderbilt puts up 59 in the first half. The Commodores 18-0 when they lead at the half. And they are shooting 63% from the field. Michaela Blake's already with 23 points, up 59-40 at the half. Let's get you to Taylor Tannenbaum in the studio.
We've got to start the game with some urgency, with some intensity, and they've certainly done that here tonight.
Yeah, those two have outscored Oklahoma's team, or have tied the amount of points. Oklahoma's got 40 points, those two have 40 points. Aaliyah Chavez back out on the floor. She dealt with some foul trouble in the first half. What's got to change for Oklahoma?
I think if you're Oklahoma, you've got to understand, number one, you're not going to get it all back at once. And so you've got to continue to chip away. You've got to string some stops together. Everything was way too easy for Vanderbilt in the first half. And yes, get Reagan Beers some touches on the interior.
That was one of their goals. Jenny Baranchek, their head coach, told us coming into this game was they have to get paint touches specifically for Reagan Beers, who averages a double-double.
And look, it was tough. Aaliyah Chavez goes on the bench in foul trouble early. She is a go-to offensive player and really sets the tone.
Sasha Washington back in the game for Vanderbilt. She was on the bench in foul trouble in the first half. And that's going to be the second foul on Reagan Beers. That half was the second most points allowed in a first half by Jenny Baranchek. The 59 that Vanderbilt put up in the first 20 minutes.
Well, and I'm sure challenging her team at halftime just to give a little bit more resistance on the defensive end of the floor. It felt like Vanderbilt was able to pass the ball wherever they wanted, got whatever they wanted offensively.
I'd say so. Vanderbilt shot 63% from the field in the first half.
That's pretty good.
Zaya Van can't finish the transition bucket. Got the rebound back. Chavez in the paint. But when Aaliyah Chavez went out, too, with the foul trouble, Vanderbilt went on a 23-8 run until she came back in.
It's hard to have an answer. I mean, she's a shot creator, not just for herself, but for others. Certainly when you think about defensively, game plan is there's going to be a heavy usage with Aaliyah Chavez.
Galvin trying to get it back. Blakes just picks it up and just lets it fly. 26 points now for Michaela Blakes. Blake's trying to cook. Serving one up to Sasha Washington. She's going to the free throw line.
Michaela Blakes really continues to get whatever she wants. This is just a great read. Reagan Beers hangs out a little bit too long. And Sasha Washington does a good job of using her body, get into the defender.
And that's 3 fouls on Beers. Sasha Washington will go to the free throw line, a 67% free throw shooter.
I always think it's really difficult to officiate players who have the strength and size of Reagan Beers. And oftentimes they're on the short end of the stick when it comes to foul opportunities. One on the rebound, certainly, early in this quarter, and then that one right there.
Verhulst misses. Galvin with the board. It's a Vanderbilt team that's having one of its best seasons. They started the year 20-0. Now 22-2 on the season. Blakes and Verhulst battling for it. And that was a hard fall for Blakes. Foul was whistled against Verhulst, her second.
50-50 balls. I mean, again, Vanderbilt just the first one to them. Michaela Blakes gets a hand on it, couldn't quite corral it, and Peyton Verhulst trying to get in there to get it as well. But from the beginning of the game, Vanderbilt has just been the aggressor. They've been that half a step to a step quicker to everything.
Reagan Beers on the bench right now with those 3 fouls. Brooklyn Stewart has taken her place. Galvin started 6 for 6, and now she's 7 for 8. She has tied her career high at 20 points.
I mean, this is just incredible. Again, you're going to go under the screen, switch to go under. When she's been as hot as she's been, I think that, again, there's got to be some more urgency to get out to shooters. It's a great read. Aubrey Galvin continues to stay hot.
Second foul whistled against Blakes. Shea Ralph told us recruiting Aubrey Galvin, she saw her ability to create and how crafty she could be, how she was a good passer. Those things all sold Shea Ralph on her. Verhulst getting physical in the paint.
Yeah, she told us that she feels like she was under-recruited. Jakalinga Winantanga gets 2, and probably underappreciated.
That's swatted away by Winantanga. Verhulst in the mid-range. It's back-to-back buckets for Peyton Verhulst.
Offensively starting to get into a little bit of rhythm, but you got to get stops on the defensive end. You got to string multiple stops together.
Right now in this half, Vanderbilt's 4 for 8, so 50% from the field. Winantanga saw an opening. Verhulst came over to swat it. Up ahead to Chavez, and they overshot it.
Now, the amount of empty possessions for Oklahoma just continues to stack one on top of the other, and when you're trying to mount a comeback, every single one matters. Playing fast is one thing, making sure you give yourself a chance is another.
54% of Oklahoma's possessions in this game have been empty.
When Jenny Baranczyk talked to us pregame just about, what you have to do to win on the road and taking care of the ball, giving yourself a chance. That's part of it.
That's against Zaya Van, her third.
I thought that was pretty good defense. I thought Zaya Van was vertical right here. Maybe if you're going to call the hands prior to the shot, but I thought her verticality and her ability to get at the top, I thought that was good D.
It puts Galvin at the free throw line. And now 5 for 5 from the charity stripe tonight. Got a new career high with 21. Wafted on the glass. Zaya Van looking for the long ball. Peyton Verhol's got the rebound. Inside to Stewart. Looking to work around Justine Passat. She'll be fouled by Passat. Her first. Aga Makarov will replace Passat. Van guarded by Blakes. Zaya Van crashing the glass, and it pays off. Well, that's going to be a foul on Sasha Washington, her third.
This is a heck of a rebound by Zaya Van. Michaela Blakes turns her head. Van goes and snatches it out of the air.
And Zaya Van will get a breather, just a sophomore. Played a big role last year and needed a bigger one this year. Sasha Washington back on the Vanderbilt bench with those 3 fouls. Missed a lot of the first half with 2 fouls early. And Chavez out of control. Blakes takes it. Speeding down the court. Michaela Blakes, by the way, 2 points from a third 30-point game in a row. Went in time to miss this. Almost got it back. Up ahead to Stewart. Blakes has 28 points.
So fast in transition. She reads the defender going to cut her off. Gets back to that right hand. Vanderbilt just continues to pour it on.
Sunday afternoon, catch a women's hoops top 25 doubleheader on ABC. It starts at 1 Eastern. Toby Fournier and Duke host India Navarre in North Carolina. That might be a rivalry we've heard about before. Then number 4 Texas, led by Madison Booker, take on Talasia Cooper and Tennessee. A Tennessee team that just got blasted by South Carolina yesterday. Both available also on the ESPN app. Man, Vanderbilt is up 20 right now. Coming into this game, remember, Oklahoma is one of the top scoring teams, one of the top when it comes to pace. They just haven't been in a rhythm, and Vanderbilt's been so aggressive all game.
I think Vanderbilt's been really disciplined on the defensive end. They haven't allowed Oklahoma to do what they do best. Aaliyah Chavez in foul trouble early really hurt Oklahoma. And Vanderbilt right now has played a consistent, 25 minutes of this ball game, and Shea Ralph calling that timeout was not happy with the last 45 seconds to a minute and wants to remind them how we have to play, right, if they want to do what they want to do.
Yeah, they got off to the better start that she's been looking for, but trying to make it a 40-minute ball game. Well, we step aside at 4:17 left here in the third quarter. Vanderbilt in control. That's Shea Ralph after their last game talking about Michaela Blakes. Stephanie, how have you seen Michaela Blakes impact not just Vanderbilt on the court, but this program?
Well, she's a game changer. I mean, certainly because of her talent and her ability to produce and be a go-to, her poise. You know, we saw it a year ago as a young player, and taking a chance and wanting to change the landscape of a program. And oftentimes, you know, in today's day and age, you don't see many of those who want to go and do something different. And she has.
She said when she was looking for a school to play college basketball, she wanted to go somewhere to help build a legacy. And she is certainly doing that at Vanderbilt. She's the 4th SEC player now since 2000 with 3 straight 30-point games. Thanks to those free throws, she's at the 30-point mark for the 8th time this season. At 23 in the first half. Del Rosario. Galvin got the board and then got stripped by Lofton. They're going to take a look at something here. Are they appealing this? So Oklahoma is appealing the out-of-bounds ruling. You can use as many appeals as you want, but if you're incorrect in that appeal, you lose a timeout.
Oh, yeah. Looks like it might have hit Aubrey Galvin's hand afterward.
Yeah.
She sold it, though.
Well, got to, right?
You got to.
After review, the ruling on the court is overturned. The appeal is won by Oklahoma. It'll be Oklahoma's ball, end line 30 on the shot clock.
And they get to keep their timeout.
That's got to be one of the highest pressure jobs, right? If you're the one that's saying, let's appeal, and if you lose a timeout.
Yeah.
I know for our guy, it's like sweating bullets all the time.
Stakes are high.
Stakes are high.
I thought you were talking about the person who has to raise up the monitor over here.
It could be that as well.
At Memorial Gym, the court is elevated, in case you don't know. That's why the benches are on the ends. Oh, Brooklyn Stewart not giving up. She is a freshman that has just gotten better and better as the week's gone on.
Yeah, this is a great job of just getting position, staying active, staying aggressive. And this is certainly one of the areas that if I was Shea Ralph, I would have been concerned about the offensive rebounds. And Vanderbilt has really done a good job of securing defensive possessions.
Mitchell checks back into the game, placing Aaliyah Del Rosario, who's gotten some extra minutes here in this game because Sasha Washington's battled foul trouble. She's on the bench with 3 at the moment. Blakes make it 32.
It's tough anyway, but especially when she's cooking, you got to be right up there on that on-ball screen. You're going to go under. She's going to pull it back behind. You go over the top and then drop, and she's going to find the midi. I mean, there's just too much space. She's an elite scorer as it is, and sometimes you got to take your chances and where you're going to allow her to get shots. But when she's this hot, you got to be up there.
She's cooking a Michelin star level.
She is.
3 30-point games in a row. First foul against Ayanna Mitchell of Vanderbilt. That puts Peyton Verhulst at the free throw line. This is the first. Well, tomorrow night, SEC Network men's doubleheader. It starts with Vanderbilt over at 7 Eastern, followed by Arkansas and LSU, both also available on the ESPN app. Vanderbilt has been in control of this game right from the start. They shot 63% from the field in the first half. Oklahoma gave up the second most points they've allowed in the first half under Jenny Baranczyk, with 59 by Vanderbilt. Breaks from the floor, kicking out to Passat. Verhulst with the quick bucket. She's got 14. Verhulst leading Oklahoma tonight. You see Vanderbilt much more intentional right now of execution in the quarter court, taking opportunity to work on execution. I like that read. Look at the spacing. That's just it's perfect spacing. Verhulst feeding Stewart. Mitchell hustled down the floor, but she's going to be whistled for the foul. Trying to get the block of Stewart. No, excuse me, they call that on Justine Passat, her second. Jada Brown in for Vanderbilt to replace Makarov. One of 2 for Stewart. Del Rosario back on the floor for Vandy.
Princeton action. That's too easy. Too easy. Again, this young backcourt, they're hot. They found their way. No disruption.
Reagan Beers, a quick bucket on the other end. Yeah, Galvin, a career-high 23 points. Blake's at 32 points right now for Vanderbilt.
But you see how there's no resistance right away. Not on the ball. There's no ball pressure. Now you're in the gaps, certainly loaded up because of the ability to attack by Michaela Blakes.
Van spins into trouble. Elliot Chavez waiting in the corner. Put back by Stewart.
Stewart's activity level on the glass has been really good. Good job of getting another opportunity with an and one. And I don't think we can overstate just how disruptive it was for Oklahoma early with Aaliyah Chavez on the bench with those 2 fouls. Yeah. I mean, again, you've got your point guard, you've got your leading scorer, you got the head of the snake, certainly on the offensive end, and they just had not been able to find any kind of rhythm. And you got to give Vanderbilt credit on the defensive end. Now, early in the ball game, very solid. Got out in transition and then do what they do best from the three-point line.
Yeah, when Chavez went out with that foul trouble, that's when Vanderbilt was able to go on a 23-8 run until she came back into the ball game. Aliyah Del Rosario, by the way, just sat down with 4 fouls for Vanderbilt.
And as you're trying to claw your way back, if you're Oklahoma, you have to be able to stretch stops together. It's just not happening.
One-handed kiss off the glass for Blakes. And Oklahoma can take the last shot of the quarter. Chavez.
That's nice.
Little one-handed toss-up of her own. Blakes left it short. After 3 quarters, it's 85-68. And look at these two. That's a sophomore and a freshman. Blakes with 34, Galvin with 23. They've got a sizable lead, and they've controlled this ball game, shooting 56% from the field on the game. Vanderbilt team that's having one of its best seasons. Michaela Blake's a big part of that. She's got 34 tonight. And her freshman point guard, Aubrey Galvin, has a career-high 23. Chavez over to Stewart. Chavez misses everything. For Vanderbilt, Charlie Cream said no matter the outcome of this game, they would stay at a number 2 seed. Remember, if you're a top 4 seed, that means you get to host first and second rounds. Sasha Washington looking to put back.
Well, we had this Vanderbilt team a week ago against Florida, and we talked about that game being a must-win because of the gauntlet of the schedule that they have coming up. And what do? They go on the road and get a win against Kentucky. They come here back home and have started from the jump, you know, putting it on Oklahoma. Now, certainly Shea Ralph is challenging this team for a consistent 40 minutes because it doesn't get any easier, and it's the same thing for Oklahoma. Multiple top 10 teams, back-to-back. The SEC is a grind. Winning on the road is tough. And when you run into a buzzsaw like Vanderbilt's playing tonight, it makes it awfully difficult.
If you're prepping for this Vanderbilt team, I mean, obviously you start with Michaela Blakes, but what else as a whole stands out about what they're doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that when you allow them to get in their rhythm offensively, when there's not some disruption to the rhythm, the timing of how they run their stuff, then they're able to create shots for themselves and others. I mean, you've got 2 young guards, but they're really quick. So Reagan Beers gets 2. They understand how to get to their spots. You got to disrupt them probably 94 feet. But certainly in the quarter court, you cannot allow Vanderbilt to just move the ball freely. They run so many good things. They're going to get you somewhere with some of their multiple screening actions. And the other thing is you got to find their weaknesses on defense, and you got to force them to work on both ends.
Zion Van looking for the transition 3. And there's a foul away from the ball.
You got to have some concern. I mean, because Oklahoma's a team that plays fast, which means that they can get a lot of possessions. So they are never out of a ball game. And they have not shot the ball particularly well here tonight, but if they get hot from the 3-point line, it could be a problem.
Now they've trailed by as many as 26 tonight, down just by 16 now with a lot of time left, as Passat moments ago was just whistled for her 3rd foul.
And now you got to string a few stops together.
Galvin. And this will stay with Vanderbilt.
I would have held my breath right there if I was Oklahoma. Aubrey Galvin's been hot.
Started 6 for 6. Now 8 for 12 with a career-high 23 points tonight for Galvin. guarded by Zane. Van. Oh, nasty, get in there.
Oh, my.
Went in tandem with the defense. Blake's got loose. Oklahoma got a break there. She was all by herself.
Middle ball screen coming. Again, look at how far off Reagan Beers is, and then you close the gap. That's the best defense Oklahoma's played in that ball screen tonight. You close the gap, you force an extra dribble. Watch Reagan Beers closes the gap right here, stays lateral, forces an extra lateral dribble, and allows Peyton Verhulst to get in and tie it up. Oh, nice move.
Sahara Williams. All right, Oklahoma creeping closer.
Oh, and discipline right here. Vanderbilt, J-Rock wanting her team to slow it down. That's a great read.
When in Tanda, the pass from Sasha Washington. Offensive foul against Beers, her fourth.
I don't agree with that call. I think she's standing there. Is it an awkward angle? Yes. But I think Aubrey Galvin sells it.
Beers is staying out there right now with 4 fouls, 6-10 and counting on the clock. Galvin, when it's your night, it's your night.
It sure is.
And she's going to be whistled for the foul on the other end. She was trying to take the charge.
I mean, that's a great read. Coming off of the pin down, knows the switch is coming. And then already on her way down before the contact was made. Sahara Williams gets 2.
The first foul against Galvin. And a 3-point play for Sahara Williams.
Vanderbilt going to stay in this Princeton-like action.
Galvin's going to have 3 free throws. Second time tonight.
It's the second time that Zaya Van's gotten caught on that one. They're trying to blow up the handoff, and then Aubrey Galvin just changes direction. Zaya Van trying to get back into the play, makes contact.
Missed the first, got 2 more coming. She's at 28 points, by the way, on the night, a career high for her. Her career high coming into the night was 20.
First of many.
Vanderbilt, 2 30-point scorers tonight in Galvin and Blakes. Vanderbilt's defense takes it away. Sasha Washington can't work around Stewart, got it back. They got 2 free throws coming. Foul on Brooklyn Stewart. First second.
Sasha Washington's been saddled with foul trouble this ball game, but this is what she does. Those hustle plays, the little things. She's a connector on the floor, a great communicator on the defensive end, does the dirty work.
I feel like she always has so much joy every time I see her, whether it's a shoot around. She had some pretty sweet dance moves before she even started today.
Yes, the jam session was good, yeah.
There's so many intangibles that she brings to this group. Missed last season dealing with blood clots in her leg. Missed 591 days.
When you miss that much time, it takes you a little bit early in the season to get back in your rhythm, get back in your timing. But she's such an important piece, really the heart and soul of this Vanderbilt ball club.
You can count the bucket for Beers.
Well, Reagan Beers, again, good job of sealing on the mismatch. Passat a little bit late trying to get Blakes out of there.
And Passat's going to be whistled for her 4th. And a 3-point play for Beers. You know, we thought coming into this game that would be an advantage for Oklahoma as Reagan Beers in the paint. Why has that not been as impactful as we had anticipated it being?
I just think the timing of when you're able to get her the ball. You know, Vanderbilt's done a good job of having multiple bodies around, and young backcourt for Oklahoma, that the game is still working its way to slowing down for them, right? So being able to get passes on time, on target, making sure that the timing of how you get her the ball, because she is going to be all-consuming from a defensive standpoint.
That assist by Blakes was beautiful. We got to see it again. I'm calling for it. Reagan Beers just got out of this game. Look at this pass from Blakes over to Sasha Washington, threading the needle, and Vanderbilt on the cusp of putting up 100 on Oklahoma. Foul by Reagan Beers. This was her 5th personal foul. They did not upgrade that after review.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. There's no push-off. She's holding position.
But she has fouled out of this game. Beers with 19 points, 9 of 10 from the field, 11 rebounds. Vanderbilt on the cusp of a 4th ranked win this season, and first time they hang on to beat Oklahoma since 2012.
Shea Rouse probably looking for a timeout.
Just got it over. Blakes has 34, Galvin has 30. First time Vandy's had 2 30-point scorers in a game since 2000.
It's been a minute.
It has.
Oklahoma just has not been able to find their way.
And 20 turnovers tonight for Oklahoma. They average 16 a game. Vanderbilt scored 24 points off those turnovers.
And that's a hard thing when you're playing fast at times. I mean, 21 points or 25 points for Texas off of 21 turnovers in that matchup for Oklahoma. South Carolina turned them over 21 times for 28 points. And now here tonight, there's a balance, especially when you're playing those top teams, of making sure that you don't have those empty possessions. The margin for error is so small in this league, and in particular on the road in this league.
Vanderbilt has gone over the 100-point mark tonight. Zia Lofton's got her first points. Threw it right to Blakes, looking for the shot. Look over to Shea Ralph to get the call. Under 3 minutes to go here in Nashville in this top 10 showdown.
And we've seen throughout the course of this fourth quarter, Shea Ralph wanting her team to slow down and work on execution.
And Blake slid. Stewart misses. Rebound by Passat. Washington misses the putback. Mwenentanda is fouled on another putback. Vanderbilt started this game by scoring 31 points in the first quarter. That's the most that they've scored in the first quarter in an SEC game this season, and they have not looked back. Well, don't forget, coming up Saturday at 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app, it's the Women's College Game Day crew. They'll be in Baton Rouge to get you set for Joyce Edwards and number 3 South Carolina taking on Flau'jae Johnson and number 6 LSU. That has become a really fun rivalry as of late. Charlie Crane has 11 teams, I believe, most recently from the SEC. Going to the tournament and 2 number 1 seeds coming out of the SEC in South Carolina and Texas.
And we've got right now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams hosting. If you're 4 or better, it means you get to host first and second rounds. And Vanderbilt is one of those teams projected to do just that. Seconds here for the Commodores. That's on Blake's. I thought that was on Sasha Washington. That's the 4th on Blake's. Chavez now 0 for 11 from 3. She had hit a 3 in 22 straight games. Oklahoma will get it on the cleanup. Sauter with those 2 early fouls just had not been able to find herself in a rhythm. What does Oklahoma take away from this? Well, I think there are some nights where you just don't have it and the other team does. I mean, certainly that is part of the case. But I do think you look at defensive urgency. Right, being a little bit more active, being a little bit more disruptive. This is not a team that is going to have a hard time scoring the basketball. They have not had a very good offensive night, and they've got 84 points. Yeah. It's how can we consistently bring it on the defensive end of the floor. And then in games like this, you got to be able to take care of the basketball. Michaela Blakes checks out after a 34-point night. First at Vanderbilt since 2000 with 3 30-point games in a row. Just the 4th player in the SEC to do that. It's pretty incredible. I think Oklahoma's going to challenge, appeal this out-of-bounds call. But we were talking early in shoot-around today because Michaela Blake's the fastest player in SEC history to 1,000 points. And think about all the greats that played in the SEC. That was staggering to me. Pretty incredible.
The ruling on the court on the out of bounds is Vanderbilt ball. That ruling is under appeal by Oklahoma.
Stewart's hand the last one to touch it?
It looks like it to me. It's a good angle right there. She certainly hit it out of Sasha Washington's hand, but did Washington's finger touch it at the end? Our little monitor operator over here has been busy.
Yeah.
After review, the ruling on the court is confirmed. The ball goes out on Oklahoma, number 21. As a result of the appeal being lost, Oklahoma is charged a 30-second timeout.
For Vanderbilt, we've talked about them looking for a 40-minute game. Did you see that tonight?
Well, there's still 109 left.
That's true.
But yes, I mean, I think they put it together. And I think they're disciplined on the defensive end of the floor, and this is a great offensive rebounding team in Oklahoma. For the most part, they kept them off the glass. Oklahoma did not shoot the ball particularly well, so there were opportunities there. And you're continuing to see them just grow on the offensive end and find, each individual find their spots, but collectively find the best shot on the floor.
Baccarat got the rebound.
But you certainly got to be pleased if you're Shea Ralph. Probably the most complete game that they've played.
Galvin with her first 30-point game of her career, a new career high for her. 30 points, 10 of 15 from the field. Three seconds. When Ntanda's got to hit it. Sasha Washington, 16.6 on the clock. Puts Sahara Williams at the free throw line. Got them both. Traveling violation on Ava Black, 11.2 to go. For this Vanderbilt team, got a big one coming up on the horizon. Just a few days from now, they will take on Texas.
I'm going to see a tremendous defensive challenge on that end. Texas and Vic Schaefer, what they bring, but certainly going to enjoy this night here tonight.
A big night for the Commodores at home. Highlighted by not one, but two 30-point scorers. Subno, Michaela Blakes with her third 30-point game in a row, her 8th of the season, and Vanderbilt hangs 100 on Oklahoma. They have their most ranked wins since the 2013-14 season.
I mean, this was just an incredible effort from the jump. Really set the tone early, played with pace offensively, disciplined the details on the defensive end. The most complete game probably of the season for the Vanderbilt Commodores. And you watch those two in the young backcourt just continuing to get better every single day.
Yeah, a freshman and a sophomore leading the way for Vanderbilt. Not the first time that we've said that this season. Vanderbilt comes out, they pick up a 14th straight win at home. Their 4th ranked win of the season, and the first time they've beaten Oklahoma since 2012. They do it by putting up 102 points. 102-86 is the Tannenbaum.